Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Roger. Yes, sir. Reporting. Unit reporting out. Moving out. North. Affirmative. You got it. Not a problem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Roger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative. Moving out. Roger. Moving out. You got it. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. You got it. Roger. Roger. Moving out. Affirmative. Moving out. You got it. You got it. Affirmative. Moving out. You got it. Moving out. Affirmative. Roger. Roger. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. You waiting got it. Waiting order. Moving out. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
New construction options.
Not
Our
a
base
problem.
is under attack. Low power. Building.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative. Yes, sir. You got it. Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Reporting. Moving out.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. New construction options. Building.
Reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. You got it.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. You got it.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Construction complete. Building.
Ready and waiting. Moving out.
Construction complete. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit lost. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Building. Construction complete.
Roger.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. 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 Moving out.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building.
Getting out. You got it.
Construction
Moving
complete.
out.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out.
On hold. Cancel. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Unit lost. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Roger.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Building. Construction complete. Building. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. You've got it.
Construction complete. Our base is under attack. Building.
Reporting.
Construction complete. Building. Unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. You've got it. Moving out. Reporting.
Unit ready.
sir.
Each starts with a series of simple Seth is impressed at how quickly mission, and in the next one we have to establish a base, and then one after that that are not having as many years to capture a prison while not having a guard side. It is very easy to start. Each mission is followed by Seth. Once we've unified some villages behind the Nod banner and eliminated those who won't comply, Seth tells us a little bit about the history of our organization. The Brotherhood of Nod, of course, is a peaceful organization, one that desires unity and brotherhood, acting as a protectorate to the neglected and abused nations of the world. They believe that Tiberium is the future, a future that can disrupt the balance of the world, and a future that they fully embrace. He also tells us that from our rapid accomplishments, Cain has started taking personal note of our successes. We still haven't seen nor met the Brotherhood's leader, but Seth says we're getting more difficult assignments from Cain to see what we're capable of.
Acknowledged.
You may have
Affirmative.
noticed that we're kind of blitzing through the
Moving
story
out.
and missions compared
Moving
to
out.
the GDI campaign, and that's because I'm blitzing through the campaign itself. The beginning of the Nod campaign is pretty dang easy compared to the GDI. This is mainly because we unlock tanks significantly faster, and while Nod buggies and light tanks are worse than the
Construction
GDI
complete.
counterparts, they are significantly cheaper, allowing for swarm-style warfare of very well-rounded units. Things take a little bit of a bump in difficulty, but Nod overall feels very quick and powerful in these low-tech scenarios. In the next mission,
Moving
we're
out.
ordered to defend against GDI airstrikes with SAM sites, and then strike back against their bases.
Yes, sir.
Assault. A task that goes quite smoothly. But when we arrive home,
Yes, sir.
I was starting to trust him. Now Cain has asked for your services.
Moving out.
we're almost halfway through the campaign.
Affirmative.
We still haven't seen the
Building.
We're still in the and once we successfully raid the GDI
Construction complete.
annoyance continues. This time with us being sent out to raise a village that was getting in the way of the Brotherhood's Tiberium operations.
Building.
And we don't have to worry. As Seth's intelligence states, there's no GDI combat force, which turns out to be an enormous lie, and my vacation is ruined. But don't worry, Seth has another mission for us.
How would you like to ensure your place in the last mission? Surely you're ambitious enough to take a mission.
I am a mechanical man.
Going so soon.
I am a mechanical man.
I've taken the liberty of dispatching your troops to the U.S. Cain has been loath to attack America, but I feel that it's time, and that you're the one to
Building.
This is the Pentagon. A full frontal attack with your strongest forces should render the military simple of operation.
Yes. Our ship's moving.
Unit ready.
Think. I am Cain.
Now that is one hell of an introduction. It is worth remembering that most story scenes sucked in game development. CG was horrible and slow and clunky for the most part, which meant it was really hard to be dramatic and entertaining. This was one of the major benefits of using sets of even if the acting is stiff at times and the editing was it was still a massive
I am a mechanical man.
unsurprisingly, Cain doesn't want us to lose the fight at Pentagon.
I am a mechanical
So
man.
ridiculously overtuned that I honestly think Seth's idea was
On
better.
hold.
Welcome to
Cancel.
my area. We start off on the night with a few infantry, and after getting bulldozed by a tank and restarting, I managed to make my way to a group of buildings that we had.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately,
Moving out.
we have $0. So the shiny
Moving
police
out.
squad needs to go to the pawn shop so that we can get some engineers, and then use the chopper that we get to
Acknowledged.
and steal. But remember what I said about aircraft not having vision?
Moving
We get
out.
a small look at the enemy base to work with, but things off screen really come
Moving
together
out.
once we land. So enjoy reloading repeatedly trying to find a problem.
Affirmative.
Oh, and if you don't steal the refinery while the enemy harvester is dropping off money so you capture both, yeah, you've basically lost the mission already because you have no cash that you need to spam out units to defend garrison. So, great. After about 10 reloads, we have
Construction
a
complete.
harvester. Now it's time for some Tiberium.
New construction options.
Okay, reload and
Low
why is
power.
there
Yes, sir.
a train of zombies just circling around all the map's Tiberium? Well,
Building.
my harvester died again, so I have to
Yes,
rebuild
sir.
again. And I've been sent some troops over to kill these guys, and then a random attack killed me because I've been playing with
Yes,
these
sir.
for 30 minutes at this point. 27 of them. I haven't had the time to actually build anything.
Construction complete.
Stay off that attack, and then some random airstrikes start targeting my harvester, so I can't reasonably have it in the air. The airstrikes hit something else. And there's more from the infantry around, and oops, a giant infantry ball found my
Building.
guys, and this is a safe scum mission. And after being it, I went all out.
Unit reporting. Awaiting orders.
Incredibly overtuned and randomly kills your colleagues in a way you cannot reasonably play around it. And the answer is to just save, wait for attacks, hope that they go well, and if they don't, reload until you get better RNG. And remember, we were using engineers to school in the base at the beginning. This means that we're playing hot dog. So if you're playing on more difficult, fighting the same exact units, but your opponent is 2 for 1 because of the difficulty modifier. Zaire is a
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It forces players to control progressively more parts of the map, or they die. But if that's straight from territory is based on the player early, which most of the time is not the case, but here absolutely is, and the player cannot reasonably have what they need out on the field, it falls to the enemy to screw up and not properly capitalize on starting to troops everywhere. And that's what happens here. It is a hope that the AI does not in fact decide that you are going to lose immediately. And my hot take for the day is that that doesn't feel predictable. Older movies having massive performance spikes is not a rare one. The amount of testing that was done by these smaller teams was minimal at times. And it can be felt. I wish this game had a AI so we could see the big flaw on the inside. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is just one of the as we make it past, the remainder of the campaign is actually pretty unremarkable. So I do find it really funny that this cutscene that we use for video came basically invents these content 10 years before the website would exist.
Discovered by the Brotherhood, that is, and I named it after Tiberius Drusus Caesar. An obvious lunatic.
Actually, scratch that. He was at his chair and actually watching the video and giving commentary, so it's nothing like modern React streamers. As we progress through the remaining missions, we do get Nod's late game units. The Flame Tank is a bulky, short-range unit who does infinity damage against buildings and infantry, and the Stealth Tank's invisibility is by far the most mechanically complex thing we'll see in this game. And the difficulty of fighting GDI ground forces massively drops after we get the obelisk-like defensive structure. It basically turns any ground attack into goo. So of course I tower rush the GDI.
Unit reporting.
The final mission has us building a
Yes, sir.
and pushing the GDI out of Africa. And Kane is so impressed with us that he sends his electronic ninjas called Netrunners into the internet to access the ion cannon. And what in the Tron is going on here? Kane steals the ion cannons and is so happy with us that we get to finish the campaign by blowing up one of 4 equally important targets. The White House, the Eiffel Tower, Brandenburg Gate, or the House of Parliament. So I guess the Pentagon is off the table, huh? The cinematic for blowing up the monument obviously changes based on your choice, but hilariously, the newscast that closes out the campaign also changes, specifically the number of casualties. So if you're going for the high score, the White House
Yes,
is
sir.
last at only 600
You got it.
casualties. The Eiffel Tower is next at 700. Parliament is a decent 900 plus 1 big bet, and Brandenburg Gate
Construction
has
complete.
1100 casualties. And then the
New
game
construction options.
and this side
Building.
of the campaign is eventually deemed to be non-canon, except for the random stuff that then they decide did happen later. We'll talk more about the
Building.
meltdown that is Command & Conquer canon later, because it doesn't matter right now. What did matter is that this was a cool game that was released into a very new
On
genre,
hold.
and for the
Cancelled.
time, it had exceptional world building, intuitive controls,
Building.
and most of its major flaws were prolific in every game of the era. So, how did Command & Conquer 1 do? The game absolutely
Yes, sir.
exploded in the best way possible. It is really hard to get good sales numbers for this era, so take everything that I'm going to say here with some error bars of salt, but the scale does not lie. Command & Conquer 1 sold around 3 million units, and this is when PC Conquer beat Warcraft by a factor of 10. To say that Command & Conquer was competing with Warcraft at this point is actually just a lie. They were competing with the best-selling games of
Affirmative.
1995. They were pulling numbers more similar to Dragon Quest,
You got it.
Island, and Chrono Trigger. This was absolutely astounding.
You
And
got it.
Turned heads.
You got it.
While the game does feel dated and sometimes
Moving
frustrating
out.
today, there is no doubt that the titanic success and critical acclaim of Command &
Affirmative.
Conquer is what kicked off the golden age of real-time strategy. A golden age that for years would be spearheaded by
Affirmative.
the franchise. So
Moving
Command
out.
& Conquer comes out, is considered a certified
Affirmative.
banger and makes bank. And in
You
goes
got
the
it.
franchise. This is where we'd start talking about the next game in the series, Red Alert. It's
Moving
important
out.
to remember that when a game first saw the scene, outsells the competition by a factor of 10 and becomes a franchise.
Affirmative.
It impacts a lot. The story of Command & Conquer is obviously a story about but story is it's a tale of the heroic rise of underdog and it all has bold ambition and is the story of a villain who takes all of that and destroys it. I don't want to go too in-depth about this, but the four names remembering the story are the two founders of Westwood.
Yes, sir.
The director of that names are hard to remember, so I'll use this as a modern. These four are not the entirety of Westwood's story. It's not even close. And it was this again because the practice is their story. I mostly want to tell the story of Westwood as a whole, but we do need a few names and faces and their life. So how did Westwood manage to create an entirely new franchise and smash it out of the park? All in an era when games like some of what well, because this is not to understand what in 1992, a company called Virgin Interactive acquired the rights to Doom, and they wanted to take their shiny new franchise out for a spin by making a game, but they didn't have the talent to do that, so instead they went shopping for a developer to make it for them. The Doom series was overnight powerhouse. Frank Herbert's 6-volume series that came out between 1975 and 1985 was hugely influential. Doom was mainstream nerd culture around the world. It already had 4 games and a video game.
Construction complete.
Mostly famous for directing. And it has a much different
Unit reporting. Acknowledged.
the 30 seconds of the it seems like a simple idea, but the story The Doom books influenced pretty much every major sci-fi work that came out. When the 80s movie wasn't on the scene, and the production company went bankrupt.
Building.
Founder of
Yes, sir.
I wasn't sure what to do. He reached out to
Yes, sir.
not Westwood, but to a French developer, who began work on an adventure strategy spun off his own company, Bio Interactive, as a subsidiary of Virgin. As the game was being developed, the American parent company wanted to join Westwood. They had the answer, but they still wanted a game. They just spent a bunch of money on this
Construction
franchise,
complete.
so Alper decided to contact Brett Sperry, offering him a chance to develop a Doom
Building.
war game. And that's how Westwood would start
Yes,
making
sir.
their own Doom game. They would
Acknowledged.
take influence from
Moving
earlier
out.
games like Populous and Civilization. But Sperry felt like the war game genre was a bit in decline at the time. The games were slow and clunky, so he took his studio Westwood and decided that they would make a Doom game where the
Yes,
players
sir.
didn't take turns.
Yes, sir.
So then the guys at Cryo popped
Acknowledged.
back up and they were like, hey, I know this game was
Yes, sir.
canceled, but we finished it anyway. So in 1992, the Doom action-adventure game was released, and then a few months later, Doom 2,
Yes,
made by
sir.
a completely different studio,
Building.
was also released. And instead of being an action-adventure game, it created an entirely new genre, a real-time strategy game, and people loved it. So without any time to breathe, Cryo's moderately successful Doom was eclipsed by Westwood's Juggernaut, the literally genre-defining Doom.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
So, is the game any good?
Moving out.
Doom 2 is
Acknowledged.
funky. It turns out when people are inventing the wheel, sometimes they start out with
Moving
square.
out.
It has a lot of elements that make it
Acknowledged.
construction yard, detailed map that you have to explore, the territorial map,
Unit reporting.
and of course, Frank Klepacki's soundtrack.
Yes,
but if you thought that selecting 4
Yes,
units
sir.
at a time in Warcraft 1 sucked, how about selecting 1 at a time? And if you wanted to choose another building or unit to produce, you have to pause the game and select it from the menu. It is certainly not as easy to pick up as Command & Conquer. And also,
Unit
for the amount of
acknowledged.
you had to do,
Moving
real-time
out.
strategy may have been a bit of a stretch. But it is
Affirmative.
widely regarded
Acknowledged.
as the first true RTS game. Of course, definitions are always fun.
Yes,
And there's always going to be some Herzog spy hipsters out there, but generally Doom 2 is considered the first. By the way, if you do want to play Doom 2 but not have a crash out due to the controls, the mod Doom Dynasty keeps the original graphics and mechanics, but allows you to use a Command & Conquer style interface. It's still jank, but it's a lot closer to fun jank than frustrating. Westwood would also remake Doom 2 as Doom 2
Yes, sir.
1000 in 1998
Yes, sir.
using the Command & Conquer engine. And then they released a 3D RTS called Empire Battle for Doom in 2001. Cryo also released a second Doom
Yes,
game,
sir.
and then they went bankrupt because the game was bad.
Yes, sir.
I'm not convinced anybody actually asked them to make it. Jumping back to Command & Conquer, the first game is enjoying a lot of success, so Westwood did the obvious. They made another one, but instead of making a sequel, they thought it'd be cool to make an alternate history game that asked the question, what if the Cold War went wrong? And so Command & Conquer Red Alert was born. As we start the game, we are once again in history research. This time, Allies.
Construction complete.
The GDI was already NATO-inspired, so it should not be a surprise that the Allies are welcoming them. And just like the first game, we're dropped into New Mexico with Einstein, following the Trinity nuclear test. And just like real life, he's developed a time machine that allows him to go back in time to the 1920s and assassinate Hitler using his famous electricity magic, which
Vehicle
explains his
reporting.
impact
Affirmative.
before returning to the 40s. With his chores taken care of, Einstein finds himself in a world
Vehicle reporting.
that's been filled by the Soviet Union.
Acknowledged.
And the Second World War happens anyway, but this time it's even worse. Then we get what will become one of the most iconic openings in RTS history.
Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out. Acknowledged.
Hellmarch is the single most iconic.
Construction complete.
Yes, we are going to watch it every
Building.
because it rocks. Red Alert's
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Jump forward to
Building.
Einstein has been kidnapped.
Unit reporting.
Also, people can walk on the green screen now, which is very exciting. We meet General
Acknowledged.
Westwood, Boss, and General Stabbo, feisty Greek ally. Also, the CG in this game is so much better. It is astonishing that there's only a 1-year gap between
Yes,
these
sir.
two titles.
Yes, sir.
The leap in quality is massive. As the
Yes,
first
sir.
mission launches,
Affirmative.
we're introduced to a mix of old and new. Red Alert clearly uses the
Affirmative.
same engine as the last game. The infantry look identical besides a bright color palette. But now, we have more than 2 colors for the environment. We're in snow, and we have some unfamiliar yellow stuff on the right that I feel like I should clarify to second monitor viewers is not what you normally think of when you hear yellow and snow together. The game starts off in the worst possible way, with the cardinal sin of having you fight a dog in the first 3 seconds. I ranted about this in my Warcraft 3 release. What is up with so many RTSs? Between RTS and Microsoft games, I have
Unit
hit my
reporting.
quota, and I would like you to stop. To the east, the civilian works
Unit reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
one of the most iconic.
Affirmative. Moving out. Moving out.
She's like the commander of the class, except he has better vision, meaning I can actually
Moving out.
kill them.
Yes, sir.
Bombs on buildings and has an intense bit of barrels. Yeah, this is already infinitely better than any Command & Conquer first game had. Once we take out the power plant, another civilian comes into the base and shows us how things could go.
Unit reporting. Yes,
Type
sir.
of memorialization where it is really good. We now kill the guards on the Soviet Tech Center in Einstein. Take them to the helicopter or get back and watch the Allied cruisers take down the rest of the town. Just like the last game, our missions are bringing back this one's a cruiser. The next mission
Building.
properly introduces California introduces another new mechanic, destructible bridges.
Yes, sir.
The mission after, hey, isn't that the base that I built in Mission 2? Yeah, Mission 4 takes place in almost the same map as Mission 2, and you get back all the units and buildings you built before. It's a nifty little trick that they use to show off how much better the game's features are than everyone else has done. And then they never do it again. Meanwhile, the Allied commanders are getting increasingly nervous. While we're winning the fight themselves, the business is doing quite well.
Unit report. Yes, sir.
My Lord of the series is pretty famous for being camped. It gets progressively more over-the-top and goofy as time goes on, but the first game actually takes itself fairly seriously
Yes,
and
sir.
can be
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in
we do get a bit
progress.
of
Building.
She's getting interrogated and forced to use Tesla coils to escape. But the cutscene also has
Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Waiting order.
Unit ready. Building.
so far we've been introduced on Essling and Stavros. And they've
Unit
mainly been
acknowledged.
characterized
Construction complete. Building.
Vehicle report. Moving out.
Construction complete.
Moving out.
Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Acknowledged.
Stavros has become stolen. On Essling, meanwhile,
Construction complete. Building.
you know, he only lost.
Unit reporting. Affirmative.
It is nice to see though it doesn't make fun of us. In the next mission, we're able to
Building.
No, seriously, the voice actor said that's what he was going for. He can run around the enemy base undetected, but he can be sniffed out by any dog. It's part of the good visual of what is going to be a threat, increasing complexity in the
Unit report. Acknowledged. Moving out. Affirmative.
While the spy
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So switching into engineers is the start of it. Speaking of engineers, they exist in this game too, and they got instead of being able to capture any building they want at any time, the building has to be reduced to ready, which is very fun. If it isn't, the engineer will just do a bunch of damage to the Affirmative.
building instead. We're meant to capture this base and then
Yes,
doing
sir.
so equals
Affirmative.
engineer matchup. There is basically
Affirmative.
always a mission like this in the campaigns, and as long as it's not used too much, I think it's a lot of fun. By mission number 6, the bulk of our ground arsenal has been unlocked. The Allies have medics, which are a very welcome addition to infantry-based compositions, but they do have short range. Almost everything else is a unit we already saw in the first game. The faction feels a lot like Nod, but with medium tanks instead of light. Honestly, the Allies don't feel like they have an incredible identity in this game. Nod was all about speed,
Waiting order. Yes, sir.
getting one over your opponent in this, but you don't get
Yes,
the
sir.
like fights.
Moving out.
Everything will make it pretty
Yes,
difficult
sir.
to win.
Affirmative.
But they do have a
Affirmative.
the spy that we already met, the gap generator that we'll talk about later, and the mine layer that I think would be pretty good except for the fact that the AI very clearly knows where all the mines are and just avoids them. Overall, the campaign is pretty fun, and the missions do feel more varied than the original. But Mission 6 introduces what I would consider one of the bigger annoyances in this game, the sea missions. A bit of boat action is fine here or there for me, but just like Warcraft 2, this game got addicted to boats, and it devotes a lot of attention to them.
Unit
but there
reporting.
aren't
Acknowledged.
actually
Unit reporting.
the Allies
Affirmative.
have 3 types of combat boats to transport. The
Vehicle
Soviets
reporting.
only get submarines,
Yes,
which
sir.
are invisible but can't even be run on the transport. As a result, having a lot of missions focused on naval stuff means that a lot of their units aren't actually doing it. In this mission, we have to land a spy and get him to the Soviet test. We're hoping to get information on the Soviet technology, a super weapon that was probably much funnier as a joke in 1995. But this objective is actually a bit of a fake out, and after getting the tech center, we do have to raise the entire base. This is going to be a repeating theme throughout throughout the franchise, they really do not want you to use objectives and they force you to do them.
Unit
Part of me
reporting.
says that
Acknowledged.
does
Yes,
make
sir.
sense, but the other part of me says, I don't know, if I manage to cheese it, I should be able to cheese it.
Construction
Don't just
complete.
with base, we have to do it in
Construction complete.
Yes, moving out.
The Soviets are sitting with a bunch of damage tanks as it's slowly and clunkily unloading transports.
Unit reporting.
Painful. It is easy to get wiped
Waiting
out
order.
fighting against the controls and not the enemy. Particularly when Soviet air
Unit
power
reporting.
is constantly chipping away at it.
Affirmative.
Once the landing is successful, Red Alert does something
Waiting out.
very nice.
Moving out.
When I'm close to finishing off the base, the AI sells all of its
Yes, sir.
units
Yes, sir.
to the units that pop. This means that I don't have to spend a lot of time mopping
Yes,
up
sir.
the chat,
Acknowledged.
and it gives the enemy a last hurrah. Not every mission does
Moving
this,
out.
but the system is good, and I'm glad to see it. And then Mission 7 comes up out of nowhere, and everything skyrockets in difficulty. We are sharing a very small island with our enemy, and they're guarding a resource patch that's close to my base. If you try to contest it, you're
Acknowledged.
hit by massive waves of enemies. This mission absolutely ruined my winter for midday. After surviving relentless aggression, the Soviet base and destroy it. Only to find
Yes, sir. Yes,
how to
sir.
manage the
Yes, sir.
objectives.
Affirmative.
He really wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
stop the attack,
Yes,
and
sir.
he really didn't want to.
Yes, sir. Yes,
He
sir.
was forced to very slowly push around the top of the map to finish the pens off. When talking to him about it, he didn't know that he didn't have to destroy the base. So let's go read the mission
Yes,
objectives
sir.
together. Capture the radar dome and destroy the subtanks. It should be pretty clear. It doesn't say anything about the enemy base. If he had just ignored the base and set up an impenetrable ground defense, maybe the mission
Affirmative.
would have been easier for him. But I don't blame him for the confusion. As I said,
Building.
Red Alert is getting much better at having complex mission designs with different objectives. But what they haven't
Building.
quite gotten right yet is actually communicating those objectives. In Remaster, the objectives are shown in the top left of the screen at the beginning. But instead of being static, they eventually get pushed off of the screen by noises like having puzzles. And before Remastered, you had to just read the clearly. It's not the biggest issue in the world, but I do think we are playing a game that is so old, they hadn't figured out maybe show the mission objectives on the screen yet.
Unit
Following
ready.
that mission, we get what looks like another generic cutscene of a unit rendered in 3D, and then disappears and reappears before
Unable
our
to
very
comply.
eyes.
Building in
He's been
progress.
faked out. It's actually
Yes,
the
sir.
briefing for the next
Acknowledged.
mission, where we have to defend the Chronosphere.
Construction complete.
A massive super weapon and a major plot device
Building.
for the Red Alert series. The Chronosphere is Einstein's time travel tech expanded on a large scale. It can transport vehicles and move them through time, but it's unstable. Einstein even says that some of his personnel got lost during the
Yes,
transport.
affirmative.
Probably
Yes, sir.
on purpose. We've basically got everything.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. We get map packs in this game and the sequel. Once you build the tech center, the entire map gets revealed about 3 minutes later, and it makes
Acknowledged.
things really smooth. We have a holdout defending the Chronosphere, an extraction mission where we have to do unspeakable things to win, and a mission where you try to destroy the Soviets' nuke silos. At this point, von Essling has revealed that while he feels like the Chronosphere marks a turning point in the war, Stalin has developed nuclear weapons
Construction
and is planning
complete.
to use them on European cities.
Yes, sir.
We captured a Soviet defector who
Knowledge.
told us that Stalin was
Yes, sir.
upset. His inner
Moving out.
circle was being torn apart,
Yes, sir.
and he's the one that gave us the information on
Roger.
where to find Stalin's nukes. So we get thrown into one of
Building.
the dungeon missions. A
Yes,
format
yes,
that
sir.
was so unpopular that it never gets
Moving
done
out.
again. This mission
Affirmative.
is just a
Knowledge.
labyrinth that needs to be explored, mapped out, and perfectly moved through. We only get a small squad of infantry to work with, and it is
Yes, sir.
very frustrating to play. It definitely hinges on that idea that players will play through the mission multiple times, but it takes it way too far. The enemies are ridiculously hard, and more of the missions are than Hugo. And it turns out that if you go here, you
Yes,
get
sir.
Tanya, and
Yes,
the mission
sir.
is
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
no indication or the rescue. It is completely overall, I try to look at the context of
Construction complete. Building.
Reporting. Moving out. Unit reporting.
Warcraft 3
Building.
I think it's cool.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
And just never again. But we do disable
Building.
Still, you don't feel like I'm being closer to understand.
Acknowledge.
Stavros several
Moving out.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
We begin the end. We start off with the USSR in earnest. The Soviets finally
Yes, sir.
temporarily makes units invulnerable.
Yes, sir.
It's not the worst thing in the world, but if the enemy is attacking a
Yes, sir.
immobilized, well, it's gonna die.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Nope, looks like we've killed already. There are a few things that you have to just crack your units. Otherwise you lose, which is just very fun. Also, on this last mission, for some reason, while walking in the unit, this little dapper guy is and silence. Previously, this is something that and I don't think the unit is crazy.
Waiting order.
It's just kind of weird to get this guy
Acknowledge.
much more fitting log is just like the ion cannon before it.
Affirmative.
It's a bit underwhelming. The later games, chronospheres will let us teleport troops and
Yes,
their
sir.
own. But this first iteration lets us
Moving out. Yes, sir.
and then dies. Sorry, bud. Like always, the final mission is a big macro slog fighting a bunch of enemies. These missions after the mission ends, you get one of the weirdest
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and then Stavros, who's been
Yes, sir.
AFK, shows
Yes, sir.
up and tells everybody to mind their business and get lost. And then he just crushes Stalin with a rock without saying anything. I mean, I get it. Stalin's not exactly an upstanding citizen. We can all agree on that.
Construction
But was this whole
complete.
campaign just Stavros' revenge fantasy? He wasn't even here for a good
Building.
chunk of it. I don't think that the ending is horrible by any means, but I wish they had taken a bit more time to build up Stavros' character and anger, so that when it got released at the end, we could see it. Instead, it's just really random.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
That's what guys in the Red Alert universe. What is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get ready for a wild ride. Once again, if you've played the game series, you may be familiar with the level of camp design. The Red Alert Soviet campaign starts off with two generals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
About the effects of sarin gas on a village of civilians. Yeah, you heard me right. The first thing they do is just attack civilians.
Children were terminated. Seconds and adults took longer.
The first mission, just like the Allied campaign, is
Unit
a bang.
reporting. Yes,
This
sir.
time, we're introduced straight away to destructive bridges and immediately are given the Soviet Yak air units, who rain down destruction on, once again, a village full of
Unit
civilians.
reporting.
And, the cutscene... I know the Cold War had only ended 5 years before this game came out,
Acknowledge.
but they sure have no issue painting the Soviets as objectively evil. They have no empathy whatsoever.
Construction complete.
Have to cross a river to invade Germany, and then we get our first base. So far, we've only built infantry on the mission. And then, hey, wait a minute, isn't that King? I swear I said that Red Alert is an alternate spin-off. What is he doing here? Well, Red Alert is a spin-off, kinda. Red Alert was referred to in the time as exploring the strange world. Kane's appearance in the background is one of the nods we get to the connection between the games. This is because the first Red Alert was originally written as a sort of prequel. In theory, everything that happens in this game is history to what happened in the first game. But then Red Alert
Construction
2 and
complete.
3 are
Building,
sequels
building.
to this prequel, but they also are completely unrelated to the main game. So there is
Building.
some freaking weird. I told you the canon is gonna get complicated. Back in game, the first few Soviet missions are fine. We get a no build where you chase an allied spy around a maze with some dogs for some much needed revenge.
Yes, sir.
Then on mission
Yes,
4,
sir.
we get our the heavy tank, which is the core we'll use for the rest of the campaign. The Allies, on the other hand, start using the gap generator, a very cool tower that covers the map with
Moving out.
darkness around itself.
Waiting
The
orders.
idea is awesome, and we could actually build these for ourselves in the Allied campaign. Unfortunately, the AI has map hacks, and it literally does nothing against them, which means it is very one-sided. I love it when games
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
stuff like this. I just think it should be symmetrical in some way. Mission number 5 is a good example of why I'm running of the boat missions in early RTS. Because while I'm not good at them, the enemy is terrible at them. A lot of the time, they simply do not know how to use them, which means they instead build more and more and more troops on their island until it becomes effectively an impenetrable fortress. A giant turtle fest that turns
Yes, knowledge.
you either
Yes,
have to build them before they can do that, or you're going to be stuck in a very long, very boring mission where you have no chance of ever
Yes,
doing
sir.
it. But you also have to destroy them. It's not the end of the world, but it does make things very painful. After that slog, the rest of the Soviet missions
Vehicle reporting.
Give up the flame troopers in the next mission, who this time don't instead fire a slow ball.
Yes, sir.
The Soviets overall have pretty good infantry, and it's nice to be able to
Construction complete.
The Soviet faction design is usually pretty strong for their Allied counterparts. They don't really have light vehicles, instead they focus much more on the
Yes, sir.
and later on
Unit
they're also
ready.
really
Unit
lacking
reporting.
anti-air units.
Yes, sir.
Fortunately, the Allies only
Building.
have one air unit, but sometimes you're just forced to sit there and get blasted. We also have to fight against the Allied local gap generators that bar the gap generator tower, except for they appears to be using a giant army to capture them with their first fire command. Now, square range and it might die. They're tough. And once again, I wish they figured out a way to make them work against the AI. Meanwhile, in the Soviet campaign, the generals in Stalin all get their time to shine when they give you briefings.
When you kill one, it is a tragedy.
Reporting. Moving out.
When you kill
Moving
10
out.
million, it is a statistic.
Bearing in mind that we started this campaign with a pretty handsome ship, but a full pack becomes a little bit more silly.
Construction complete. Our base is under attack.
Moving out.
I think here, but it is kind of fun. Two generals are jealous of both
Unit ready.
right now. But one of the generals gets so you
Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir. Waiting order. Moving out.
and later Stalin wrangles the other
Yes, sir.
general of punishment for making a mistake. It is all cartoonishly, but they're also
Moving
sort
out.
of trying to be serious about it. It's weird, but it's fun. The second to last mission that gets that guy strangled
Yes, sir.
is kind of funny in the know.
Unit
You're
reporting.
supposed to take out 4 radar nodes, and then
Yes,
capture
sir.
the chronosphere in the bottom left of the map.
Yes, sir.
If the nodes are alive when you approach the
Yes,
chronosphere,
acknowledged.
it will self-destruct.
Yes,
Accidentally
yes.
dropped it, which is why I went over and then had to reload. And then when the mission we're told that the chronosphere is exploding because there was radar nodes that didn't know about the signal, which, yeah,
Unit
I guess
reporting.
that's true.
Yes.
I already got the main screen of the map. The whole thing was really confusing, and I had to check the wiki. And it seems like they just accidentally wrote what radar dome on the map when they weren't supposed to. This mission also demonstrates the wall construction mechanic. There's no way to fix it or capture it.
Building.
This is pretty awesome.
Yes, sir.
Oversight and gets fixed in this game. But yay, more boat landings. Compared to the weirdness of the final Soviet fight.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
I was quite thoroughly stalled on the first attempt, and it didn't feel like I got cheesed out by the end. They just had good fundamentals and that doesn't stop me. No, Unfortunately, I lost the
Construction
In the
complete.
final cutscenes, Dalton
Building.
Nadia serves in the team, to which nobody's surprised is important. Then we get our third overacted death. Stalin even has to climb up onto the table to make sure he dies in frame. And then Nadia has a line about the Brotherhood of Nod working together, and Kane summarily shoots her in the back. The game ends with
Affirmative.
which if you're using
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
If you're using this game as a prequel for Red Alert 2, makes no sense in its own canon. So, take what you want. In really every way, Red Alert is the original Command & Conquer, but evolved, taken to the next level. It doesn't do anything drastically different. Instead, it improves every single statistic.
Construction complete.
Missions are better, units are more
Building.
Yes, sir.
the acting is better, the CGI
Acknowledged.
Overall, it's a really fun experience. And by all accounts, Red Alert sold more than Command & Conquer in a shorter amount of time. It was
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
only behind Microsoft Flight Simulator. The hype for this
Construction
game was
complete.
real. Westwood had proven that Command & Conquer was not a fluke, but a legacy. And they could go from making a man. Both games were popular enough to get console ports, which sold very well despite not being ideal to play. Something that I can attest to because Nintendo 64 Command & Conquer was my first introduction to the series. I still don't know what the Nintendo 64 controller was designed for, but
Building.
I do know it was not RTS. Though somehow this game was way better than StarCraft 64. 3 out of 10. Do not recommend. Overall, Westwood really took a lot of feedback from the original, but they didn't get overcome. They understood the fixed up what didn't and made a fantastic game. Sometimes the increased complexity causes
Construction complete.
Moving
the
out.
engine shows a lot of improvement. The complexity of the triggered event breaks up what would
Yes,
otherwise
sir.
be monotony. So far in both games, the second campaigns have felt more fleshed out. The Nods and Soviets have more developed plotlines and characters. This makes them significantly more memorable. The majority of people that reminisce about Command & Conquer will either talk about their
Ready and
favorite
waiting.
character being
Moving out.
Kane or one of a few Soviets, which makes it really
Yes, sir.
awkward
Moving
that
out.
most people's favorite campaigns are not
Our
canon.
base is
This
under
is the
attack.
biggest fundamental flaw in the design of the story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They have very different things. You have to pick one of them.
Building.
As a result, for these first two games, only the quote-unquote good
Building.
guys have a canon campaign. Well, this is
Acknowledged.
mostly true except for
Moving out.
like 200 times
Moving
it's
out.
not. It is a mess. To the point where
Construction
after
complete.
Moving out.
games, Westwood had to distribute the Command & Conquer Bible, a document that they made to try to clarify what actually happened
Yes,
and what you're
affirmative. Yes,
supposed to
sir.
pretend was a fever dream. But they didn't fix the process, which then meant that the document was flawed later. It is directly contradicted by later games on many important
Vehicle
lore.
reporting.
So now, the official document that they made to explain what is and isn't canon is not regarded as a good source for what isn't canon. I find this entire thing frustrating.
Unit reporting.
I like unraveling
Moving out.
over time, coming to understand.
Yes, sir.
Going through a game's story
Vehicle
with
reporting.
no idea
Acknowledged.
If anything that you're being
Yes,
told
sir.
is true or not,
Acknowledged.
does hurt the immersion. Fortunately, they do eventually decide to design the stories so that both sides are canon.
Building.
But unfortunately, we're not close to that yet. I was originally going to do a really rushed rundown here of everything that is and isn't canon, but honestly, it would be more confusing and hard to remember. And in the end, I don't think it matters that much. So just assume that GDI is canon, and the Allies are canon. But if not, or Soviets do something that doesn't break the pre-established canon,
Construction complete.
then probably not. But if it does contradict other campaigns,
Construction
also the
complete.
early expansion packs and all families, the later expansion packs actually did happen. And I
Cancelled.
don't care what anybody says, the dinosaur and ant level
Building.
to me. Actually, we should probably talk about this. Both games have Command & Conquer 1 and overall.
Yes, sir.
They're okay, but one nice thing that they did was take a couple of they're not that exciting though, like not getting something wow, incredible. Red Alert on the other hand, bundled together.
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
I'm sure nobody got confused by this. These were also not canon, but they had these great little camp video intros with some
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Expansions were fun, but they're not what people remember the most. Back in 96, we loaded Command & Conquer and the Special Command Power. You started with it where it tells you to go out and do which brings us to the where we get to
Unit
fight
reporting.
freaking dinosaurs.
Building.
This was originally written by a developer during the development.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Moving out. Jumping out. Yes. Moving out.
The whole thing is done, and it doesn't make sense.
Moving out.
Red Alert, on the other hand, has a million.
Acknowledged.
The ant missions are also fun, but it is much harder than the dino missions, and honestly, to me, they're just not as fun. I do find it and having a third faction to play.
Moving out.
These sorts of things are incredibly emblematic of what it means to be a fairly independent company. Westwood was technically owned by Virgin Interactive, but they were fairly hands-off.
Acknowledged.
They understood that the Westwood crew knew what they were doing, and were more than happy to sit back and let the money maker do its thing. And because of this, Westwood could just make things. Dinosaurs and ants didn't have to be justified.
Affirmative.
They could just throw stuff at the wall and see what stuck.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Exercises are one of the reasons they were so far ahead.
Yes, sir.
This is the kind of stuff that gets the going over.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
So I think it's time to talk about that next creation. At this point, they've gone
Moving
through
out.
the entire gauntlet.
Affirmative.
With no other side quest remaining, Westwood finally decides it's time to make a sequel. They call it Command & Conquer Tiberius. Making sequels is
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Moving out. Moving out.
When we first launched it,
Yes, sir.
installed, actually updated
Yes, sir. No. Moving out. Jumping out. Unit affirmative. Moving out.
but then the remaster of
No. Yes. You got it. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting.
still fucking
Lost.
Yes, sir.
Yard building
Reporting.
captured.
Moving out. Moving out. Got it.
Our base is under attack.
Moving
Unit
out.
lost.
Moving out.
things have gotten a bit more.
Ready and waiting. Got it. Yes, acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Yard building captured. On hold.
They got James Earl Jones.
On
Command &
hold.
Conquer is a
Cancel.
freaking
Building.
name brand actress.
Yes.
Jones is playing the General James Earl. He's the head of BDI. Solomon is on the military. He's suddenly contacted who everybody knows. And Solomon in particular because he was supposed to be the one who killed him. They verbally spar a bit.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Yes,
Then we're
sir.
introduced to the plucky young man who we play as.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They enter their ship Zodiac.
Yes, sir.
It's all pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
And our culture
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Unit reporting.
the mission and its accompaniment
Acknowledged.
give off a strong cyberpunk impression. It feels like the same game, but with significant time cuts.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
The original game takes place in 1995.
Unable
The
to
same
comply. Building in
while
progress.
Tiberius Sun takes place in the far
Unit
future
lost.
of 2030. And what a bleak future it is. Looking to the north, we find the new Hand of Nod sprawled across the ground like a spider. Looking over to the east, there's some Tiberian
Construction complete.
smashing these bridges to pieces. Once again,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Building.
Yes. Yes.
Unit lost. Primary building selected. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Unit report.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Fortunately, Mac's dialogue is
Yes, sir.
troubled here, and I couldn't really tell what he's saying.
Vehicle reported. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Primary building selected. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Not all of it is accurate.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Ready and waiting. Moving out.
Our base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
We also learn how to
Building.
also
Not building captured.
a new unit that replaces the Humvee. Put a lot of
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in
down
progress.
GDI.
Unit ready. Building.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost. Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle report affirmative.
One of them is always
Acknowledged.
but the other is optional. And if you choose to do the optional,
Vehicle reporting.
the optional
Unit report affirmative. Yes, sir.
if you live, then you reduce the enemy reinforcements.
Moving out.
The optional mission
Yes, sir.
is Tiberian Sun's. Now there are often multiple maps that are all equal. I choose to go over these bridges
Unable to comply. Building in
and also take
progress.
the route, which allows you to disable power.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Things like this are Tiberian putting up
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Not
sir.
building captured.
victory. In my opinion, these are
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep going through the campaign to get the thing. GDI's bread and butter launcher. They replace the medium tank and look way cool. I think they're the same
Yes, sir.
as heavy, but they're
Yes, sir.
And just in my starting base, we come across.
Yes,
this.
sir.
It is
Acknowledged.
impressively big and completely alien looking. The Scrim are not going to make a full appearance until much later, but the game teases their
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit
There's
lost.
a very quick fun time events where we
Building.
recapturing the alien. We only get infantry here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Weather event caused by atmospheric Tiberium disabling the majority of the
Building. Building.
how Tiberium is everywhere and ruining everything. Though it can feel a little bit bad losing because you have no mini-bat vision, but overall, I think the Ion Storms are a great example of how they're putting a lot of legwork
Waiting
into
orders.
Tiberium.
Moving out.
What is it? What are the true negative effects?
Unit report. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
In the next mission,
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
and
Building.
Tiberium Bane to Boba Fett.
Unit lost.
Deal nasty damage to vehicles.
Unit report.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under
It's a nice
attack.
way to not punish infantry
Yes,
in
sir.
Tiberium. Though they also introduced the dice roll, which is a lot more
Yes, sir.
attacks you
Moving out.
spawns where your units die. Tiberium is largely
Moving out.
inspired by the
Awaiting order. Yes, sir.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Unit reporting.
Unit lost.
But it does make resource harvesting significantly
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
by the way, command operations
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that naming convention helped
Yes, sir.
alert.
Yes, sir.
Tiberium Dawn was an internal name
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
So from now on, you can hear me say Tiberium Dawn.
Yes.
Oh, it's easy enough to remember
Not a
because
problem.
the dawn comes from the sun. Meanwhile, back in the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
humans who have been warped by their character design is super cool. Look at the type of and again, if you're familiar
Unit acknowledge.
the next mission is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you got Uma, the stalker who has the coolest name ever.
Yes,
The guy who runs up the street in his cars. The stalker are the worst team ever. Umagon is a standard commando unit. She snipes the enemy with the She doesn't have or anti-vehicle capabilities. The stalker, on the other hand, has C4 charges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which auto-kills
Yes,
and
sir.
is effective against vehicles.
Yes, sir.
But in a very railgun
Yes,
does for and I would not call myself a super big fan. Three commandos who can annihilate each other and in front of each other. And of course, so commando missions are super problematic. This is
Yes,
made
sir.
even worse by
Yes, sir.
line of sight.
Unit reporting. Yes,
No
sir.
stop.
Unit ready. Unit lost.
Ready and waiting. Permanent. Moving out.
Very clever to give the illusion of depth and visually great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shots hitting stuff in 3D space when your space isn't actually 3D.
Not building
A lot
captured.
of inconsistent and confusing
Primary
outcomes.
building selected.
This means that hit scan units, people that don't use projectiles, are
Building.
hugely favored whenever elevation comes into the
Our base is under
That's
attack.
consistent. And units like Ghost
Yes, sir.
Building.
Commanders heal up on Tiberium instead of being
Building.
mission significantly less punishing.
Waiting orders.
They're also docile. They even follow you around for it. And
Unit
one shows you a
report. Yes,
back
sir.
route to the enemy base. Once we complete the objective
Yes,
of
affirmative.
busting a human prisoner
Yes,
out of
sir.
jail, we get to build a base and destroy the enemy with Titans. And it is a huge sigh of relief because we're no longer at risk of
Yes, sir.
annihilating our own
Yes, sir.
commandos. After the mission, we
Unit
meet
ready.
Kratos, the mutant leader who we just
Yes,
met. And he
Unit report.
introduces
Affirmative.
capacity.
Unit
Ancient
lost.
nature
You got it.
discovered by
Reporting.
Kratos had translated some of the practice from and now he regrets it.
Cancel. Not building
Yes, sir.
captured. Construction complete. Unit lost. New construction options.
But we can't Tacitus just yet.
Unit lost.
Have the campaign
Building.
This mission is a full macro fest and it allows me to showcase some of the much needed changes
Unit
that Tiberium
lost.
has brought in.
Yes,
I
sir.
mentioned earlier
Yes,
that
sir.
Unit
Waiting.
lost.
Acknowledge.
and that engine comes with a
Construction complete.
Ready and waiting. You got it.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
In addition to walkers, PI gets amphibious and
Unit
operating
lost.
units, allowing them to
Unit lost.
transports like these amphibious APCs load and unload super easily. We're Look at
Primary
that.
building
I just pressed a
selected.
single button and all my troops
Unit
are out.
ready.
I don't have to faff around while I'm getting shot. And the Nod APCs burrow more terrain and water, allowing them to burn the opponent's base. I try covering my base on the pavement to stop this, and it does not work.
Affirmative. Acknowledge.
In general is just miles better than harvesters don't hug cliffs anymore as they desperately have to go through, and crossing
Not
bridges
building
just
captured.
all my
Building.
units follow each other, and they don't randomly try to go in other directions. But not everything was improved. Once again, I find myself
Vehicle
having
reporting.
to crawl around the last remnants of the enemy buildings and units at the end.
Yes, sir.
Guys,
Yes,
Red Alert
sir.
already solved this problem with the Hail Mary.
Yes, sir.
Why do we gotta go back to the old
Yes,
way?
sir.
And this time it's worse because we have to fight individual walls. It's excessive. After putting laser fences onto the endangered species list, the campaign relocates to
Yes, sir.
this game only has 2
Moving out.
desert and ice, so everything has to either be really hot or really cold. But we do get the hover MRLS, which can provide suppression fire and water. And we get to see the new version of the Nod. And this time it's piloted by a guy who leaves his aircraft all the way back. Just like other games, at this point, at one point, and now has a plate on it.
Unit reporting. Moving out.
Actually happen during missions, and we don't find out.
Moving out.
It's just a bit of a surprise to find out how Kane tells us the report that he's planning on Iberia, which it's already kind of he's definitely the bad guy here. But there are Solomon is and in the end, this war is being instead of being just a reminder, this game came out less than a decade after the Cold War. The final mission is a colossal
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative.
And then Max stabs him with a giant sword. He's gotta be dead this time, right? After this comes the Nod campaign. Starts off very different. We see the impending execution of our characters.
Construction complete.
Nod meeting. General Hassan has sentenced us to death. Prior to now, we haven't seen a lot about the organization. In Tiberian Nod, we were completely
Reinforcements have arrived.
now we get to see a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It is very
Yes, sir. Yes,
The
sir.
first 3 missions are then shared back to the Hassan forces. And the first few cutscenes are introducing some of the
Unit reporting.
and Cabal, non-AI, is just a little
Building.
then in the fourth cutscene.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Building. Unit ready.
Reporting. You got it.
Building. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today, our future must
Vehicle affirmative.
divide people and hands for the Tiberian War.
Yes, sir.
It is a little bit unnerving.
Yes, sir.
And I mean this in exceptionally good storytelling.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Building.
I honestly think that it's a shame that they shy away from this. A couple minutes later,
Airstrike ready. Our base
Yes,
is
sir.
under attack.
Being
Yes, sir.
found and crash landed in New Mexico because it was a stick shift. Up until now, the campaign has been canon and explains how this works.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Really take place in the time. We grab the task list.
Acknowledge.
Yeah, I can get it, and then proceed across the southwest United States.
Moving
The
out.
Arsenal is quite fun to use, and once again does a good job at differentiating itself from the GDI.
Okay.
We get tick tanks, which can siege up, becoming immobile in exchange for a more bulky turret. They're also very
Unit
much
ready.
Nod also has artillery with a huge range that can
Moving
siege
out.
up to,
Yes, sir.
and cyborgs with
Reporting.
infantry that are super bulky and immune to Tiberium.
Affirmative.
The burrowing APCs
Building.
can look terrain and enter the whole
Yes, sir.
space by space.
Yes, sir.
And burrowing planes
Yes, sir.
Nod also gets stealth technology.
Yes, sir.
Makes it very sneaky. Nod can anchor itself
Yes,
down
sir.
with some powerful defensive tools and then use subterfuge and ambush
Unit
to
ready.
capture the enemy where they're weakest. It's a good theme and fun to play. Story-wise, Nod takes over a GDI base in one mission and uses GDI forces to attack units in the area. This lets the mutants ally with Nod the next mission, but the Brotherhood doesn't value their friends
Unit
particularly
reporting.
highly.
Affirmative.
And then for some reason,
Affirmative.
the next scene, Slavic and Oksana have been
Ready and waiting.
Nod, who say they sprung the
Roger.
trap, which is interesting to say
Waiting
the
order.
least, because
Affirmative.
the scene doesn't actually match with what happened in the mission. The Slavic in his jail cell
Moving out.
becomes
Affirmative.
a message from the Cabal AI that self-destructs. The next
Reinforcements
mission
have
has
arrived.
Slavic and Oksana out of jail.
Nod building captured.
He fires a ball of energy at people, and he's way better than Ghost Stalker because he doesn't have the irrational hatred of terrain. Because of this, the Nod commando missions are much better.
Affirmative.
They're like little puzzles instead of frustrating self-sabotage.
Affirmative.
This one has several solutions. For example, you can get vision of the enemy by capturing this radar node and then send your burrowing APCs across the map to bust her out of jail from behind. Or you can try
Acknowledge.
using these vehicles instead. In the next mission, we get the Weed Eater,
Moving out.
which harvests Sarlacc tentacles as a
Nod
secondary
building
resource,
captured.
converts them
Affirmative.
into chemical missiles that emit Tiberium clouds. This game has a lot of weird one-off mechanics
okay.
like this, and they all feel a little bit unpolished, but they do keep you on your toes, and the variety is really nice. Even when the execution isn't there, I appreciate the effort. The rest of the Nod campaign is fun, but with a couple odd missions that are not explained super clearly. We capture Mac's brother and force him to work with us, and in the final mission, we fire ICBMs at the GEI Philadelphia satellite, destroying it, but remember, this isn't canon. Anyway, Kane takes over the world and defeats Tiberium. It's a rather bleak ending for a dark game. Nod made people follow its religion
Unit reporting.
fervor and are simply polluting
Yes, sir.
the world in return. Tiberian Sun was followed up by Fire. This
Mission accomplished.
several faction. And notably, this is the first time both campaigns are completely in their canon, which, thank goodness, it is about time. Blood.
Great shot. Return to base immediately. Great shot. Return to base immediately.
GDI-funded research shows the following incidents of Tiberium-related illnesses. Respiratory ailments. Reproductive ailments. Immune system ailments. Tiberium-related deaths. Spores emitted by Tiberium-infected plants appear to be a source of Tiberium-related illnesses. The world scientific community is focusing its research on this deadly spore.
Tiberium is a new life form. Quite simply put, it seems to be adapting the Earth's terrain, foliage, and environment to suit its own alien nature. If this is the case, ladies and gentlemen, we are facing a killer beyond that of our most turbulent nightmares. It is not an exaggeration to state that the future of the entire planet may be in jeopardy. May God have mercy on our souls.
Sorry to interrupt your briefing, Commander, but we need your help now. Kane discovered we were hiding Mobius, and he's throwing everything at us but the kitchen sink. It's up to you to mobilize the strike force. Acquire Mobius, and rendezvous with the rescue choppers. Mobius may be crazy, but he holds the key to this Tiberium riddle. Good luck.
Reinforcements have arrived. Battle control terminated.